This is the original. This is a Chinese bootleg. I don't care. Greetings, and you're watching Septum Sin versus the World. I'm Septum Sin. Today, I'm going to talk to you about a movie series that is really, really good. I've actually got something special for you guys today. Though this was known somewhat in circles, it was fairly closed circles here in the United States. And that is 20th Century Boys. Beginning of the end. This is part of a movie trilogy that is based on the manga 20th Century Boys by Naoki Urasawa. I saw this in magazines when they were advertising it, and I really, really wanted this. Mainly because this really looked cool. I don't know what it is about these types of characters. They just look cool to me. And I thought this might be a cool thing. I was trying at that time to collect as much media as possible. I don't do that as much these days. I'm a lot more picky about what I get. I'm a lot more choosy. But I wanted something that I was going to enjoy. And 20th Century Boys definitely fit that mark. So I went to a local store that I knew actually carried a lot of rare and sometimes out-of-print stuff that sometimes doesn't make it to this country in the mainstream like this one did. And I got all three movies. But what I didn't realize is that the first movie I got was a bootleg, because this group sells bootlegs and Region 1. They're no longer in business, so I don't need to work in trying to put them out of business. I'm kind of glad they're out of business because these people do not need to be selling bootlegs. Not for the prices. They were selling bootlegs for like $20 a movie. Now, for me, I thought I was getting the real thing. So, again, spirits were good. This is unfortunately out of print, but I did find a copy. It was slightly beat up. The disc was in good shape. The cover was in good shape. So I'm still utilizing the bootleg DVD case so that it is nice and shiny and new, and the bootleg looks like the trash that it is. Now, there are not a lot of extras on this particular disc. Like, you're not seeing the... You're not going to see more than just previews and the trailers for this particular one. But let's talk about the story. It centers around a group of kids that played together when they were young and have since grown up, and their lives have unfortunately not ended up the way that they wanted them to be. One guy thought he was going to be a famous musician. Now he's trying to raise his sister's kid while he works at a mini-mart. A couple of these people went to become business people. One person became an airport, like NSA type. But all of them almost unfulfilled in life. Well, something strange is going down. There's a strange cult called the Friend Cult. And this particular cult has this as the symbol. Now, they recognize the symbol as something that they as kids put together. And they prophesized the end of civilization by some evil organization. And they plotted out how they would do it, and then they would band together under that flag in order to take down the evil villain. Strangely enough, things start happening. People are getting sick from a strange virus. Bombs are going off. And this weird cult is getting more and more members behind it. Well, eventually the group starts to pull together again, trying to figure out who is this mysterious friend and what's going on. A little bit too late, they find out the real reason behind this and what's going on and what's going to happen. and that leads to a thrilling climax that then jumps into the other two films. So, let's talk about what is great about this film. I really like the acting. I do enjoy most Japanese films and the acting in there. The characters were mostly believable, and they were fairly well written, if you want to say writing-wise. I really thought this was a good translation to the manga. I've only read a little bit of the manga, so I'm not exactly sure how loyal this is. If any of you out there have actually seen this trilogy and read this manga, let me know, how does it actually relate one to one? But to me, it did a great job of telling a story. And it also did a wonderful job of making you want more. The special effects in this, though you can tell they are lower quality than your standard A-list movie, they are still quite good. The last scene where there is a giant robot fight, that scene is very thrilling. How they pull it off, I'm not going to spoil it for you, but it was a great thing to behold. You could actually feel the relationships between them. In a way, it kind of reminds me of films like not The Shining, like It, where you have this group of children who face something and then come back to find that it's even stronger and nastier than before. Now, with that being said, there are a few lower points. I do have something slightly against semi-modern Japanese cinema. I feel like they're taught to overact. Their expressions are, like just bigger than life. If you're told to smile, they don't just they go. That's just how they do. And some movies it's more than others. This one only had a minimal amount of that, but it was still there, and for some reason it still bothers me a slight bit. Now, the other low part of this is that it can drag a little bit. It can drag on philosophy. But for those of you who like that sort of thing, I think that it still holds out pretty well. The same goes with the other potential down point, is that this is not one you really want to just watch as a one-off. You really should get the other two films. Though I think this one can hold as a one-off. It'll leave you kind of down if you are doing that as a one-off. So, with that, I've forgotten one extra piece, which is the music. The music is actually integral to the plot of this film. And though I'm in the bad portion of my review, I have to actually put that in the win column. I don't know why I forgot the music, especially as it itself is a character in this. The song 20th Century Boys is familiar sounding, and it is a catchy tune. Plus, you actually do feel that this is, as I said, the music is a character. It travels along with this group. Now, I've been gushing about this film, and I have not given it a rating. So, with the art standard pretty high, and the entertainment standard pretty high, with only minor issues, I would give 20th Century Boys an 8. On its own, maybe a 7.5, but when you watch this, and you watch it in context of the series, this one is my favorite of the trilogy, definitely an 8. So, I hope you all enjoyed my review, and we will see you on the next one. Remember to comment, share, subscribe, and we will see you later. We are back. And as you know, if you've been watching my reviews, this is where I reach out and I look at a YouTube channel. I have subscribed to, that I like. I want to put it forward. I want to show people this is a cool site. This is what I like. So I'm going to do a twofer here. And again, this is one of the more popular ones on here. Not the most popular one. Apparently my cat likes it too. This is two because they kind of stopped being one and became this. But their subscriber count needs a boosting. So let's talk about Angrywolfmedia. Now, Angrywolfmedia is the home or former home of Incognito Cinema Warriors. Now, I love this group. And you want to know how much I love this group? Well, that's quite simple. I have all of their DVDs, which you can purchase on their website, which I will put below. Now, Incognito Cinema Warriors is this group that is based off of Mystery Science Theater. And essentially, they're in a zombie apocalypse future, and the main character, Rick, hides out in this movie theater, and he's got these robot companions, and all they have is movies and video games. So they riff on movies and video games. Now, they are quite adept at riffing. These people are on par, if not better, than their counterparts who actually do have a platform. I've actually seen the new episodes of Mystery Science Theater, and I'm actually willing to go out on a limb that these people are better than that. So you need to go and you need to support. You need to buy their stuff. They are hilarious. Their video game stuff takes it and puts it even on a higher level. Their Resident Evil 7 and Fallout 4 videos, they are amazing. But as YouTube is wont, their algorithm has decided to cut their viewership and tank their numbers. So they decided, we're going to try and start over. So they sort of had an end to Angrywolfmedia and started a new channel called Robot Co-op. Now, Robot Co-op does not have the number of subscribers that Angrywolf does, and that's a sad thing. It needs to have more subscribers. There's only like a little over 1,000, just enough to give them a little bit of that YouTube money. They need more. Now, Robot Co-op is divided into two. Robot Co-op and No-Bot Co-op. Robot Co-op is very similar to Incognito Cinema Warriors, where it's him in the theater, still playing out the apocalypse thing, and they're playing video games together, and they're riffing on the video games. They've been enjoying this Raspberry Pi, so they're doing some classic games, and they're going through that. There's also the No-Bot Co-op, which is more ad-libbed, or it seems to be, where you've got this group playing again games but as themselves. And there's multiple people there doing that. And it can be fun. A lot of them are newer games. And then they have their Twitch streams, which they do a Twitch stream live, and then they put it on YouTube afterwards. So they've been doing Resident Evil 2, and then they did a God of War stream, so it's worth checking out. They are funny. I find that the Robot Co-op is funnier. I feel like they've taken more time with it. It's more practiced. But they are both insanely funny and should be checked out. Now finally, they have projects. They're working on some neat cinematic stuff that I feel is going to net them an even more positive future. So I want you to check it out, look at their website, enjoy some of their videos. If anything, check out that Fallout and that Resident Evil set of videos. They are hilarious, especially the first part of Fallout 4. When they leave the first town and cross the bridge, you'll know what I mean. So I hope you've enjoyed this little trip down subscription lane. I'm going alphabetically, so if you're on my list, you will be up eventually. I just have to keep doing these reviews. So I hope you enjoyed this, and we will see you on the next one.